right. Call this Caddo Parish regular session meeting to order for April 21st. Roll call, please, Mr. Hopkins.
Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman,
Present.
Cawthorn,
Present.
Gage Watts, Middleton, Atkins, Chavez,
Here, sir.
Smith,
Here.
Epperson.
Thank you.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Everyone, please stand. We will have the prayer by Commissioner Dominic, and we will have the pledge by Holland Elliott from District 1.
I'll bow our head. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for all the wonderful things you've done. Forgive us our many sins. Be with us as we go through today. Just ask and pray that we'll do the best that we can for Caddo Parish. Be with our residents, be with our citizens, be with our militaries, be with the young group that's here with us today, including the Herndon High Steppers, dear Lord. I want to say a special prayer for many of our local leaders, for their families who have passed away, Mr. Moffitt, Mr. Cordero family, and the Mr. Conathy family. Just ask and pray that you'll be with them. And ask a special prayer for our military and veterans, especially those that are overseas. In your precious holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's all face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we have citizens' comments. All citizens may have 3 minutes to speak on any issue that they would like to speak on. And we'll also, before that, we will have agenda additions. Are there any agenda additions? Excuse me. Commissioner Stormy Gage Watt.
Thank you, sir. I would like an agenda addition for a resolution, special resolution honoring the late Clarence Spurs, better known as Cat Daddy.
Second.
Thank you.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watch and second by Commissioner Jackson for a letter of commendment to Cat Daddy. Anyway, everybody please vote, and this does have to be unanimous. That does pass, and so yes, we will
That
be
is
able
to
do
expand the agenda. Now we need to vote to place it in special resolutions.
Okay. And again, we'll have a motion by.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Come on.
All right. There we go.
God bless you.
Commissioner Middleton and second by Commissioner Jackson. Let's please vote. And of course that passes, and so that item has been added to the end of the agenda.
Thank you.
Names to speak, we have Mr. Rob Broussard.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn. My name is Rob Broussard. I live at 451 Santa Fe, Shreveport, Louisiana. And Mr. Wilson, thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak. I represent the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association, and I'd like to bring to your attention for public record the fact that we've been hearing rumors that are based on some factual information that there's a possibility of a Walmart being located across the street from Uri Drive Middle School. We feel like that would create havoc in our neighborhood. At our last B&A meeting, Mark Sweeney from the MPC acknowledged that Walmart came to them 11 months ago and identified themselves as being interested in purchasing the properties to develop that home center. And so that we put the horse before the cart, we want to make sure that all of our public officials are aware that this has been considered. Walmart has not come to our neighborhood to ask for input, and but they have gone to our governmental body through the MPC. I know it's not within your all's parameters to tell the MPC how to do their job. I respect that. But in this case, we don't want to find ourselves in the same position that Bossier is in, where now they're having to fight from behind the 8-ball versus being in front of it. I need all of y'all to help the Broadmoor neighborhood area. I was just in a meeting where Commissioner Jackson said, if we have an issue that we see that where we drive past the issue every day, that as a parish commission, we need to address that issue, and we need to pick up what we see that is causing a disruption in our community and bring it forward and work together to solve the problem. Well, this is a problem that our neighborhood is going to face, and if it comes to fruition, we will need all hands on board to help stop it, and we request that the commissioners, if you can help us find out, because there have been some non-disclosure agreements signed. If you can help us find out indeed who's behind those non-disclosures, and is it indeed Walmart that's trying to locate a store in that area? It would be greatly appreciated, because we need to have input on this as a neighborhood, and we would appreciate y'all's consideration and to your political input to other entities. One of the things that the MPC informed us at our neighborhood meeting was that under some new codes, Walmart can bypass the MPC hearing part and go directly to city council. You know, that's dangerous, because you're going to eliminate the idea that the public has a voice. So please, if y'all can, dig into this situation and do what you can to find out what's going on, and we would appreciate y'all's help. Thank you, and thank you, young people, for coming and being involved in our government bodies. Thank you.
Thank you. And in recognition of Parish and Student Government Month, I'd like for all of our commissioners and their guests, if we could go around and introduce our guest and then allow our guest a chance at the microphone and life on the camera. So we'll start with Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts and move our way across the room.
Thank you. I have with me today Miss Maya Jones from Parish High School. Hello. You can talk.
Oh, I'm a junior at Seaburn High School. That's really all.
And then we'll just keep working down the list.
All right, Mike Middleton. I have my great niece, Sydney Middleton. Tell me where you go to school now.
I go to school at Magnolia School of Excellence.
And right now, a picture that, a painting that she did is hanging outside the principal's office. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah. That's the only one out there.
All right, Lyndon Johnson. I have my daughter, Brittany Johnson.
Look at Brittany.
I'm a senior at Parkway High School.
Wow. Ken Epperson, Caddo Parish Commissioner, District 12. Serving my 6th term, my 21st year. And I have with me today my student commissioner for today, Mr. Brandon Hillary from Huntington High School.
I'm in Huntington High School. I'm a senior, graduating this year, 2016. I'm involved in National Honor Society, Law and Business Magnet Program. I'm involved in the Advanced Chamber Orchestra. I also play the violin, viola, cello, bass in orchestra. And I'm a senior class president, and I'm number 2 in my class.
And your ambitions? Graduation?
Oh yes, after graduation I plan on taking media arts and animation as my major, and I will be doing music, general, and performance as my minor, and I plan to go to LSUS.
I'm Doug Dominic, Caddo Parish Commissioner, District 1. My student today is Holly Elliott. Her grandmother, Jamel Crouch, works for North Camp, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself. But I did want to mention that she is a proud graduate of Herndon. So go ahead.
I go to Caddo Magnet. I'm a senior there, class of 2016, and I plan on going to LSUS, and I plan on majoring in accounting. and I have a GPA on a 5-point scale of 4.02.
All right.
And I'm actively involved in JRTC, and recently I won the company commander's award in JRTC because I am Echo Company Commander.
She's going now. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wonderful.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Commissioner Lindy Cawthorn, District 6, and I have a student with me today from one of our district schools, Ramonier J. Scott. Ramagie J. Scott. I call him Roy. And Commissioner Bowman wants to share if he didn't bring someone.
Also, because we also wear bow ties, he also attends Woodlawn High School, and he wants to become the first doctor in his family by becoming a dental hygienist. And so he's excited about that, and his grades match that of anyone that I would want to work on my mouth. So.
Hold on, let him talk before he
And now, Mr. Scott.
Well, they said it all, but I will be attending Grambling State University on a band scholarship.
Wow.
Commissioner Chavez.
I'm Commissioner Chavez from District 10, Southern Hills area. With me is Noah Casas. He goes to Fairfield. Say hey to everybody, Noah. Hello. I'd also like to take this time to say hello to my predecessor, Commissioner David Cox, that's in the audience as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You really want to say hello to him?
Oh, yeah.
I believe that is everybody. Well, fantastic. Thanks all of you for attending our commission meeting today. I hope you find it as enjoyable as all of us do every week. Anyway, we'll move to the next item, to special resolutions. Excuse me, Commissioner Dominic.
I'd like to, if we can, I'd like to suspend the rules to move special resolutions up at this time.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Dominic and seconded by Commissioner Cawthorn. We're voting on the moving the special resolution for Herndon Middle Magnet. Everybody please vote. And of course that passes. And a lot of times when we know that it's going to pass for something like Herndon Magnet, we would just vote by acclamation, and so we did vote by pressing the button anyway.
So we'll move to special resolution of recognition to the Herndon Middle Magnet High Steppers. Would you please join me in standing? If the principal and the director, if y'all like to come to the front.
Dr. Gore, you're welcome to come up front also.
See Dr. Gore?
All right. Yeah. In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, resolution of recognition to Herndon Magnet School High Steppers. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission desires to give appropriate recognition to those young people of Caddo Parish who by their extraordinary achievements have distinguished themselves in ways that reflect favorably and positively upon the parish. And whereas the Herndon Magnet School High Steppers participated in the American Dance Drill National International Dance Team Competition at the University of North Texas in Denton, Texas on March 19, 2016. And whereas the High Steppers did not just participate, but won national event titles in Team Pom and Team Kick. With their top performance in both Pom and Kick, the High Steppers went on to claim the overall middle school division team category to become the 2016 Middle School National Champions. And whereas under the steady leadership of Director Kim Whetstone and choreographer Lacey Turner, the team relied upon their experience and confidence to dominate the event. The High Steppers showed that great success can come from a small school among the pastures and cotton fields of North Caddo Parish. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission in legal and regular sessions convened, and it does hereby heartily commend and congratulate the Herndon Magnet School High Steppers for their success and for the pride and honor they have brought to their school, their families, their community, and their parish. Be it further resolved that the Commission does wish for these young ladies much continued success, and that they will continue to dream, to aspire, to strive, to achieve, and to excel as they face the challenges and opportunities their lives will present. Signed, Matthew Lynn, President; Stephen Jackson, Vice President; Doug Dominic, District 1.
Everybody may be seated.
So moved.
Yeah, I think we voted on it.
I just want to say thank y'all again, Ms. McDonald, Ms. Footstone, for being here. And thank you guys.
Get ready to run, man.
Anytime you make an accomplishment like that, it takes a lot of hard work and skill. So having children going to Herndon, I know that it's a wonderful school and they're doing wonderful things there, as you can tell by our student worker and our student commissioner today. So thank you, girls, and y'all keep up the hard work. I wish y'all the best of luck as y'all move forward with y'all's career. I don't know what grade some of y'all. Sixth, seventh, and eighth. We've got some eighth graders. Okay. Well, good luck to each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. And Miss McDonald said she needed to get y'all back. She's going to give y'all another hour worth of school. Well, Dr. Gorey said that. So.
I did not say that.
No, I'm just kidding. So thank y'all for coming. We'll let you.
Thank y'all so much for recognizing the girls. The girls worked really hard. They put a lot of hours in, and it means a lot to them that you recognize them. Thank you.
Second that. Thank you so much. They all work hard, and the sponsors also, because anytime the girls are practicing, the sponsors may not be out there doing the dance, but they're making sure it's done correctly. Girls, you should be proud of this. It's not every day you get your own proclamation from the parish. So I'm very proud of you, and Herndon is very proud of you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so very much. My pleasure to come before you today. First off, I want to thank you, commissioners, for entertaining our students today. This is such an important thing. I had opportunity to speak at Junior Achievement today, and you know, I'm very big on teaching children more than the reading, writing, and arithmetic, but giving them real-world experiences, and this is certainly an example of that. I certainly also want to thank you more specifically for recognizing a very special school. We are a school district of all special schools, but Herndon is certainly unique in so many different ways. Not only are they performing at the highest level, being an A school that the state offers, they also provide many opportunities for students to learn the arts and to really bring those things alive. And these girls are an example of that. And we do appreciate you taking the time to recognize their efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. While y'all are still there, we do have a commissioner on the board, Commissioner Epperson.
The young ladies out on the left and to my right, you know, when I came in and introduced myself, I said I was going to let you show me one of those high kicks. But, I had to call it off today because this is my old man checkup week. So I got to get the results of my MRI, but I'll hold you to that once I get the results.
We'll send you a video.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Epperson, you're going to show us a high kick? Is that what?
Well, I got to wait until I get that MRI first.
Thank y'all so very much.
It's good to see you, man. How are you? I'm doing fine. Very good. Yes,
Thank you, Doc, for coming, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Oh, you ready to grab my formation?
I see that.
She's been sleeping the whole time. She
That'll work.
You get the hands. Does he stuff like that? I can't help but laugh. Baby. I just love it.
Mr. President, do we want to go ahead and pass this other special resolution?
Yes, you can go ahead.
A special resolution of remembrance to Mr. Clarence Cat Daddy Spurs.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, second by Commissioner Bowman.
Forget that. Who wants to speak? She's
Commissioner
on here on the agenda.
Stormy Gage Watts, do you want to speak on that?
Of course, I'll have something to say. I thank you all for supporting this special resolution and remembering the late Clarence Spurs, better known as Cat Daddy. He was more than just a radio personality. He was an advocate in the community who was heavily involved and understood politics and the importance of education. He is so worthy of this honor, and I thank you for joining me in this resolution.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak?
After what she said, the only thing I can say is this, and he's truly was a genuine man. He was more than just a person and a radio personality. I used to ride the school bus and sit with his daughter Barika on the way to school to my grandmother's house all the time. But just like his personality, he always had a smile. You just couldn't meet a great guy, even within his church community as well. And he'll be sorely missed, not only just for people in this city, but across the nation, because his show was popular by the internet nationwide. So he'll be sorely missed, honestly.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowman. Commissioner Jackson.
Yeah, I just want to be on the record as one, thanking Commissioner Stormy Gage, and I think maybe Johnson for bringing this as appropriate as we prepare our hearts and minds to remember Mr. Spurs, or Cat Daddy, as he was known. I remember the first time I ate at the restaurant, he swore up and down he knew me, and that was his thing. And he approached you and he treated you as he did, as if he really did know you, and that's what you really appreciated about him. And growing up as a kid, I always would go to sleep listening to his show, and if you had an old school mother like I did, that was the only thing on in the house, and he always ended his show with the Bible verse, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God," and he let folks know that he was a God-fearing person. And so if you ever met him in person, the person that you met on the radio was the person that you met out in the street. And I think our community is going to miss him. And I'm just going to miss that favorite saying, so come on, you got to sign that check.
Yeah, AD-double-W.
And I tend to tell people all the time, you can't forget the other phrase is, I love it by the pound.
Yeah.
So, those kind of characteristics in a person will truly be missed in this area. And just the FYI, I'm told that the restaurant is still open. So if you need a good peanut butter cake, feel free to stop by and get some good peanut butter cake. And I think it's the home of pick and peel.
Yeah.
So get by there, Commissioner Atkins, we can go have some lunch one day.
I've been there with you.
Oh, I forgot. You did tell me you went over there before.
See?
So anybody else want to go over there with us, and we can, Dr. Wilson, to pick up the tab is what he said.
That's what he was.
I'm talking about. Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Epperson.
Ms. Watts, do you have the arrangements? Would you publicize that now if you know the arrangements?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow there will be a memorial celebration starting at 5 p.m. The viewing of the body at the Municipal Auditorium. From 6:30 to 8:30 will be the actual celebration. And on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. it will be held. The final services will be held at Summer Grove Church on 8924 Jewella Avenue. Thank you.
Commissioner Epperson, is there anything else? Thank you, sir. Commissioner Cawthorn.
Yeah, very briefly, Cat Daddy, Clarence Spurs, represented in this local community what I call being in the weeds. A man who, from his own position in life, knew the necessity of being involved, being engaged, and did so from that vantage point. And he was a joy to be around. He was a joy in this community. And in his way, he was a promoter and advocate of African-American owned businesses and African-American owned cuisine. So I was afforded the opportunity about 3 months ago to eat with him for the last time. He kept inviting me, and I stopped by. And I went on my own diet and lost weight, and I explained to him that we could eat soul food and be healthy. So that day I had the greens, a salad, the smoked turkey, and a glass of water. He ate what he ate, but it was an enjoyable meal, and he would definitely be missed in this local community.
Thank you, Commissioner Cawthorn. Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, sir. And just briefly, we both share, Commissioner Stormer and I, businesses that he owned in our district. But something that I didn't share that. I want to, since we have her in person, I just want to commend you, Stormy, because he's more of a family person. You couldn't tell the difference between blood or not with her family and your loss that you've recently suffered with your grandmother, who's been your mother. So I just want to give you your flowers while you're here and say your heart is and prayers are with us as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowman. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, I also want to commend Commissioner Watts. This is the third family loss she's had in the last couple of weeks, and she still is on her job doing things for her constituents in the district. I'm actually on the program tomorrow for reflections, but I can't just sit here and not say nothing. You know, Cat Dad had the phrase that he was the mayor of Moortown. Not only was he the mayor of Moortown, he also was an ambassador for our city. As a local disc jockey, wherever that radio station went out to, and now it was also on the internet, people would come miles and miles just to come eat at the cafe because they heard him on the radio. I frequently go there to go eat, and one day I was in there and there was a truck driver. Heard him on the radio as he was driving through the area. And he told Cat Daddy that he was going to stop by when he was coming back through. And he actually did. And Cat Daddy greeted him like he knew him for years. They only had one conversation with him over the radio. And the next thing is, I'll probably tell my age on this, but you know, growing up, you had the American Bandstand and you had Soul Train. But Shreveport had their own show, and it was under the Thunderdome. And that was Cat Daddy.
Jam, Cat Daddy, jam.
And I know a lot of people don't remember that, but he had his own TV show, and locally people was dancing. So, I mean, he was not only an entrepreneur, but he was a visionist. He was pretty much ahead of his time in the area in which he lived. To have 3 businesses going at one time, and to be friendly. I mean, he met no strangers. So he will be missed, not only in Shreveport, but throughout the region. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody please vote. And of course that passes by acclamation. And we will back up just a hair, and if we could have a report under visitors.
We suspend the rules, go back up?
Just go straight to Zell Dudley and LEP.
Thank you, Commissioner Lynn. Greetings, everybody. Wanted to take a moment and I visited with Commissioner Jackson. I want to apologize that I wasn't able to make the last meeting, but I was working on behalf of what you hired us to do. We had a visitor, one of the projects was in town, and they'll let us know maybe 2 or 3 days ahead of time. So at the time that I knew we were scheduled, but anyway, that was a good visit, and I'm proud to report that it was so good they will be back next week. And they are bringing some of the owners' reps with them as well. So that's a good report. I do have a copy to leave with Dr. Wilson and one for the files here. What I did want to do is take some time to talk about the actual cooperative endeavor agreement or the service contract that we have, and just kind of go over the points and deliverables from that. And going forward, we'll submit just status reports of where we're hitting on each one of those, if that's your pleasure. You can do that. So at this time, our agreement said that we would recruit and hire and staff a position. We have done that. That person would be Shreveport and Caddo based. We've done that. All of the human resources and compensation-related matters would be in place. We've done that. Number 2, provide an enhanced menu of economic development services to the parish. We've done that, and we have those attached, again, each one of those items. Number 3, work on expansion of local business and work on attraction of new employers. We are currently doing that, and I do have a pipeline report to give you as well to demonstrate that. Number 4, engage in other regional efforts of the NLEP as appropriate and when feasible. We are currently doing that. My focus is not just Caddo, it is predominantly Caddo, but because we fall over in other outlying areas like south of us, DeSoto Parish, we can't go east, if we go west, that's East Texas, and then north into Texarkana. So we look at it in an aggregate sense. So part of my program of work is to take in those surrounding areas if they fall outside of Caddo immediately, because it's feasible to do so. Number 5, develop and present an annual program of work for the Caddo Commission consistent with the NLEP strategic plan. I wanted to show you, this is a document of NLEP strategic plan, several pages done. And this is the Bible that we work by at NLEP. So what we've done, or I've done, is taken this and augmented it specifically for Caddo. So we all work in conjunction, but this kind of is a guiding principle for what we do on a day-to-day basis. And this is a checklist and status report of how we do on each one of the items in that report. So of course for Caddo, it won't be as robust, but it is all tied into a strategic plan that was put in place and we're currently rolling out. And this happens to be a 5-year plan. Shreveport-based economic developer will leverage the full capabilities of the NLEP, and the full NLEP staff will provide support to the dedicated staff person and any activities that are underway. That is definitely going on without hesitation. Provide communications with the Caddo Commission about the status of economic development initiatives and prospects in Parish of Caddo. We've been doing that and working on an ongoing basis with the staff on that. Number 8, economic development person will have full access to marketing materials, proposal development, and other services that are based. That is ongoing. Number 9, attend commission meetings and current initiatives and prospect activity in Caddo Parish. We are doing that. And the last point that's included in the agreement is to develop a Caddo Parish economic indicators document. So what this is, and this is what I'm leaving with you, and I'll email it out, is these things, the backup docs that address each one of the points. So you just want to make sure that we're focusing on what you engaged us to do on your behalf. One example of the marketing material is a book that we've done in the past for Commissioner Epperson. We've gone with Commissioner Cawthorn on a site, a write around, so yours is in the process now. So what we do is augment a marketing material for each respective district. And my plan is to do one for each one of you. So this helps with your economic development. Questions?
There's no one on the board.
I'm sorry?
Questions?
Okay.
Hold on. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, I know that the marketing data has been done for District 2, but I would like to put it into a book form so that we can put that out to some people as well.
Yes, sir.
I have it all out. I had all the data because I had them to send me the same information once I went to Commissioner Epperson's meeting.
Okay.
I said, well, if you did it for 12, you need to do it for 2. So they did the information for 2, but it's not in that binder type booklet format, and I would like to have it in the format like that so that we can try to get some stuff going in District 2 as well.
Okay. Kind of so directionally and setting expectations, over the next 3 months, we should have them completed for everybody.
Okay.
So for each one of you, that argument, it's not designed to separate, but of course it's the general and comprehensive information for the parish. But as you want to drill down to things that are unique within your particular district, we can do that with the tools that are available within NLEP. So we'll make sure that that happens as well. Great.
I guess the other deal too is, this was more of a creation from last year, and kind of give us a look of how many potential companies have been now, the focus has been given to you to try to make sure that Caddo is the place for them to want to settle.
Okay.
Kind of give us an idea of how it used to be before you came on and how it is now.
Okay. We call that our pipeline report, and that's in this document. So, and that's a part of the business attraction. Some of the leads will come from LED, and what we're doing more aggressively is working direct with site selectors and things like that, where we go out and aggressively recruit and make those connections ourselves. And Mr. Martinez will get leads that come directly to him based on his relationships that he has throughout the country. So to your question, we have 6 companies, live prospects. They are mostly manufacturing, but 3 of them are manufacturing, and 1 is a manufacturing and chemical plant. 1 is a distribution center, and 2 are in the healthcare industry. Collectively, the projected jobs based on these particular projects is 4,200 jobs. And that's on the high end. We'll usually get a low end and a high end, or an initial, and it'll ramp up over a period of time. But that's the potential with these particular projects. And the combined projected investment is $1.5 billion. That's represented by what we have in the pipeline just for Caddo, the ones that I work.
Okay, and second piece, just so the public don't get too excited thinking that the jobs will be here tomorrow. Kind of give a lead of how long does it take from the beginning to pretty much breaking ground, or to even say we're accepting the first applications.
Okay, that, to set the expectation, that depends on the project.
Right.
And what it is, the nature of the project. If it's manufacturing, then of course, that's the longest time, and depends on that particular business. So each case is different. I'll report one win I've had, which was about a month after I was on board. And that represents up to 40 employees, and their capital investment is $100,000. They came to us, they were looking just to be in this region. They have 3 locations. The name of the company is Shasta QA. It's a IT software testing company. All of their customers are on the West Coast, and this is their 4th location. So it was an expansion into this market. And they're actually over Uri Drive in the Piermont Plaza over there. So we were able to help them get situated and expedite things and work with our stakeholders and partners to get them up and running, because time was of the essence for them. So we were able to help them get ramped up in a matter of about 3 weeks with everything that they needed to do. So they are here, and once they're here, we go into business retention. And so what I'll do is just make sure we stay connected with them to see if they have any ongoing needs.
Okay, that's the short one. But give us a time frame on the manufacturing.
It
don't have to be precise, just a ballpark.
The longest one I have in the pipeline goes out to 2018.
Okay.
So like today, if we decide, as things get, this is 2016, so it depends on how large it is, but they will scale out into 2018, the longest project that I have that's in the pipeline today.
I just want the public to know that jobs won't be available tomorrow.
Right,
because you
right.
just said 4,000 jobs. That that's a process that it could take a couple of years for it to actually formalize. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts.
Thank you. I won't be redundant and ask about the book. However, I am excited to see that developed for District 7 for the unique spot that we talked about in District 7, which has been starving attention for quite some time. So we're looking forward, eagerly anticipating the possibilities that are prospectively out there for companies to really look at that area, because it's long overdue. So thank you for taking the time to meet with me and see what we need for District 7. Can't wait to see that book. Thank you.
Glad to do so. Thank you for your time.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yeah, appreciate Ms. Dutler coming down. Would encourage commissioners to work through, I believe we're to work through the administrator. We this agreement. And so if you have ideas or projects or concerns or, initiatives, work through administration. Ms. Dudley is available when we have our economic development committees. Of course, if there's a prospect in town, we would prefer you to be with the prospect than be with us or be here. And so glad to see that we have somebody focused specifically on Caddo Parish. Want to make sure that we also, I like the agreement because it takes a lot of the emotionalism out of it and puts it in the hands of subject matter experts. And I did hear you hear one thing that I think we might need to kind of tighten up. I heard you say something about local help with local business. I think we may need to define, kind of narrow down with local business, because I don't want folks to go to about the person baking cakes in the back of the house.
Right.
I don't think that's what you mean by local business. So we want to make sure that we have a complete definition or a, narrow that down, because business can be defined very broadly, and we don't want to be bogged down with things that are not within their scope and peer review. So appreciate you coming, and as chairman of the Economic Development Committee this year, look forward to working with you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Epperson.
Ms. Dudley, I think the cooperative endeavor called for NLEP hiring a vice president. Was that the young lady that came and testified in behalf of C-6-16?
No, my official title is.
No, not you. I'm trying to find out the VP that's in the cooperative endeavor, Dr. Wilson, that we entered into with NLEP. You know, the lady that came down and spoke in opposition to the resolution 22 last week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was that her?
Now, let me clear this up with Commissioner Epperson. Mrs. Zell works primarily for us in accordance with our cooperative endeavor agreement.
Right.
Now, they hired someone else for their marketing. Her title was VP of marketing, right?
She's, her official title is VP of Business Development, but she works for the whole.
That's the overall umbrella of NLEP. Ms. Dudley is our rep.
Right, I understand.
To the
The title is different in the contract.
But what I'm getting at is, I thought, you remember you gave me a copy of the contract that you engaged in?
Yes, sir.
But there was an item in the, do you have the endeavor here?
No. Not before me, no, sir.
Okay. But it stated something about a VP within the organization, and that person would be from Caddo Parish.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if that was the lady.
No, sir.
That's not her?
No, sir.
Okay, so that position is not filled.
The position is filled, but it has to do with the overall arching umbrella for NLEP.
Okay.
Our cooperative endeavor agreement is being fulfilled by Ms. Dudley. And I think they all carry that title of VP of whatever.
I understand, but anyway, we'll get a copy of that, and
Okay.
I'll show you that
Okay.
specific clause in that endeavor that I'm requesting about. Our cooperative endeavor with NLEP, what's the length of term? You recall?
I think it's 3 year or year to year commitment, renewal.
I think it's 3 now. So let me make sure, are we in a separate cooperative endeavor with Ms. Dudley, or are we in a blanket endeavor with NLEP with NLEP assigning Ms. Dudley to specifically be with Caddo Parish?
We have a dual track. The commission, prior to getting a dedicated person, we fund NLEP through the economic development arm under the, when we use the economic development funds, i.e. the video poker money. That was separate. And beyond that, we extended that to get a person with a primary focus on Caddo Parish, and that's Ms. Dudley. But we dual fund the NLEP because prior to her coming, we was funding them already. And we just added an additional requirement to get a person to work strict for us without us going out and hire somebody on our own. And she's fulfilling that.
So that's an addendum to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That actually, it was separate. The separate contract. There's not an addendum to it. It was separate because you had.
Well, I guess I missed that one. Would you give me a copy of that contract?
We have a corporate endeavor agreement because you fund out the economic development pot.
Right.
And this was separate with Ms. Dudley.
Okay. All right. Just for point of information, You know, a lot of these things that we mentioned when we're talking about economic development, of course, we're casting broad nets, trying to drag something in, near and far. And, you know, when you say 4,200 jobs, that does not mean that someone is signed on a dotted line and you got 4,200 jobs coming. That means that you are out seeking proposals with the potential.
Right.
Those are ventures, so we just want to make sure that everybody understand that. Because oftentimes people hear 4,200 and they just fall over and die. You know what I mean? But that's not the issue. No, it's just like going fishing. You can get out there all day long, you can cast all day. You might catch a good mess someday, and then some days you may not catch nothing.
Very true.
And somebody might put you in a direction where they say they're really biting, and you still may not get nothing until you actually hook them and get them in the boat. And also, when we state about the length of time that it takes when an entity is interested in coming to our area, just a point of information, some of you may not be aware of, from the time that General Motors announced that they were going to build a facility in Caddo Parish, it was 9 years before the doors opened, okay? So just want to let you know that. That's factual history.
Yes, sir.
Okay? That's all I have relative to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman.
I just want to say I look forward to meeting with you and finalizing some things for District 5. And I just thank you for your years of expertise and dedication and your continuity at being that great. So thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to it as well.
Got one more.
Commissioner Jackson.
And before you leave, I just want to encourage you as the what's the name and Doc, help us to make sure, and I think we just discussed this back there in an offline conversation, let's make sure that we keep the focus parish, regional, wide. And so I want to make sure that because I think we get the best bang for our buck. And we keep the focus on everybody.
That's correct.
And Administrator Wilson, the contracts that you're going to send to Commissioner Epperson, I guess if you would send those to me also, and then possibly to the rest of the body, just so that they'll have an idea where we stand. The booklets that are being made for each district, is that also going to be on the parish website as well as NLEP website?
If I could address that, one of the things that came out of our ED meeting was a website that focuses for Caddo. And we are, Dr. Wilson identified your IT person, we have ours, so that's in the making right now. So that'll be Grow Caddo, and it'll be a component within your website for economic development, and that could be a place where that would reside. Right now, they don't. We did the hard copy, and we've just done like one or two of these. So going forward, that could be a perfect place for something like that.
I recognize that you have in your hand is a fluid document, and the second that it's printed, it's out of date, and so an internet site would allow for instant drawdown of current to-date material.
Make sure that's on there. We can make sure that's on there, Commissioner Lynn. Those documents on the new website.
Commissioner Bowman, did you mean to click it again? You're on the board.
Oh, no, sir. I didn't press anything.
That is everybody I see on the board. Thank you, Ms. Dudley.
Next, we move to adopt the regular session minutes from April 7th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Middleton, second by Commissioner Dominic. Everybody please vote.
Middleton.
That passes. Next item.
That should have been a yes.
Next, we move to communication committee reports.
Woody.
We don't have anything today, sir.
Commissioner Johnson.
Okay. Today, the Personnel Policy and Procedures Committee met. Basically, the discussion was the evaluation of the parish administrator and the commission clerk. And we also discussed changes relative to an ordinance that we did limiting the parish directors that they had to stay in Caddo Parish. The committee voted to bring a recommendation to the body, so that will be on the next work session dealing with that. On the evaluations, I need evaluations from Commissioner Bowman, and then I can finish that piece of it.
Here it is, Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome.
All right, so basically we'll have all those issues at the next work session to put on that agenda. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Epperson.
I don't know how many of you may be familiar with the process of NACO, National Association of Counties, which we are members of. If you want to be on a steering committee or a leadership position with NACO, you have to go to naco.org and fill out the online request for whatever particular steering committee you'd like to be on. And if you're in the leadership position, you would have to go on for because the incoming president, Mr. Disselage from Florida, will be making that decision on the leadership positions, and they have to be in by June 3rd. And if all of you have something in mind, I'd like for you to get it to the clerk. We generally put a resolution on the table, whatever committees and leadership positions that members of this body want to be on with NACO. We do a resolution at the next meeting, and we'll send it on to the state association as well as to NACO. And we need to have it in prior to June the 3rd. Mr. Wilson, I understand that Sussler came and gave us an update on the aerospace program Monday.
Yes, sir, they did.
Hopefully we would not expend any funds. It's my understanding that they are to enter into an endeavor, I guess, an agreement with the Caddo Parish school system.
Yes.
Commencing this September, this fall.
That's what you said.
And I would like to see that in place prior to expending those funds, because, you know, we've been talking with them since we started giving them that stipend to enhance that program. So I understand that they do have a proposal on the table, but let's make sure that they're ready to implement it this September before we expend those funds and enter that cooperative endeavor. Because I think we've gone on long enough not to focus on our citizens in Caddo Parish with potential economic that particular entity could provide for people within our area. April the 29th, 11 o'clock a.m., the Veterans Celebration Committee will be holding a meeting here at Government Plaza in the large boardroom for any person that would like to work with us in scheduling the 2013 Veterans Parade and Honor Ceremony, which will be held November the 13th, 2016 at Louisiana State Fairgrounds at 2 o'clock p.m. We will be doing committee assignments, so if you want to work with us on that, please come out and join us. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I do not see anybody else on the board. Next item.
President's report.
This past Tuesday at 4 p.m., Commissioners Middleton, Commissioner Atkins, and Commissioner Cawthorn and I toured the Selber building on the corner of McNeil and Milam. This is a property that Caddo Parish acquired a couple of years ago, and fortunately, immediately after we acquired it, we were able to flip it. It was sold to a company, hopefully I'm going to get this right, Venue, V-E-N-Y-U, which is Your Data Made Invincible. Mr. Jerry Boudreau, the Vice President of Data Central Design and Construction, obviously a native of Louisiana, or Nova Scotia, but from Louisiana, and gave us a tour of the building, which is going to be the data storage center for the all state agencies, state hospitals, and several other entities which do business on data storage and distribution within the state of Louisiana. The top two levels of the building are available for rental, which I think is where they'll get the bulk of their employment. It was quite impressive with their battery backup and their generator power and the tie-in to all the fiber optics that we have in downtown Shreveport. That is the end of my president's report.
All right, next we move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5569 of 2016, ordinance amending the budget of estimate revenues expenditures for the capital outlay fund in the amount of $725,000 to provide an appropriation for law enforcement equipment.
Is there anybody here to speak in favor of ordinance 5569 of 2016? Is there anybody here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5569 of 2016? I see no comment. Next item.
Move to the next ordinance, ordinance number 5570, amend the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures of the capital outlay fund in the amount of $475,000 to provide an appropriation for a sewer project for the town of Greenwood.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5570 of 2016? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5570 of 2016? I see no comment. Next item.
Move to ordinance 5571, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus, authorize the parish administrator or designee to sell parish's tax interests.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5571 of 2016? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5571 of 2016? Next item.
Ordinance number 5572, rescinding the subdivision of a Country Haven subdivision, unit number 1.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5572 of 2016? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5572 of 2016? Next item.
Ordinance number 5574, authorizing emergency aid to those who were affected by the 2015 flood, December 27th, 15 tornado, and otherwise providing respect thereto.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5574 of 2016? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5574 of 2016? Next, please.
That closes our public hearings. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5569, appropriating $725,000 for law enforcement equipment.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts.
What are we doing?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Middleton.
Commissioner Johnson.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Second by Commissioner Johnson. Thank you for that correction. Commissioner Gage Watts, would you like to speak on your motion?
I think we've had proper discussion and debates in this matter, and I think we should just go ahead and move it forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Johnson.
That if it does pass, I want to make sure that in our cooperative endeavor agreement, that we put some type of Caddo Parish logo on the vehicles. And also, once the vehicles have hit their retirement, that the vehicles would be then given back to Caddo Parish, and then we can do what we want to do with them at that point in time.
Yes.
I apologize, Commissioner, because I was answering a question.
Okay.
You want it in the cooperative endeavor
If this
agreement?
passes, in the cooperative endeavor agreement that we signed with the city of Shreveport, that one, we will have a logo, the parish logo, on those cars as well. And then we would also, once those cars have hit their retirement, that they will be donated back to Caddo Parish, that we can do with them what we want to.
I'm pretty sure that could probably be worked out.
Well, I want it to be stated that way on our behalf, if it passes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Is that everything?
We can do
Commissioner
it.
Johnson? I encourage that if anybody wants anything on this, that we put it in the form of a motion and a second to make sure that it happens. Commissioner Bowman, you're next on the list.
Cooperative endeavor agreement, we don't never make that part of the motion, but that's part of the legal work that they do when they sign with the agreement. But if I need to do that, then I'll get back on the board and make it a motion, but we normally don't do it that way.
Commissioner Bowman, you're next on the board.
Okay. Due to new information, I decline to comment, except the fact that it's a great thing and it's a no-brainer for all our public safety for us to do. Thank you.
Commissioner Jackson.
I'm going to support this. I'm going to probably support the amendment from Commissioner Johnson as well. Relative to the discussion we had on Monday about what we're responsible for and what we're not responsible for and things like that and where our funding priorities are, I do think public safety is very important to our city. But also, I would be remiss if I did not point out that the city of Shreveport does collect a quarter of a cent sales tax for police and fire, and it generates about $10 million a year. And so I would encourage them to start bonding as a revenue bond maybe down the line, using that to pledge that revenue. And I need to throw that out there. The election is coming up this December, and I would encourage us to pass that renew that sales tax for public safety, but they do receive a quarter of a penny sales tax that will be up for renewal. So going to support this. I think it was discussed, and I don't know if I need to put that in the form of a motion that we make this as a grant. And so I'll come back and do it, but we have some kind of reporting that they're going to do. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Dominic.
Donna, is this, I see on the ordinance it says 725, but it was broken down so much to the city of Shreveport. I think it was 125,000 to the North Caddo Parish areas. It's not in the ordinance to that effect.
Oh, yeah.
That's correct, Commissioner. This is actually an ordinance because it's an appropriation that was prepared by finance.
Okay.
And so what you have is the
total figure.
The total figure. There is a chart that was supplied to you that kind of shows the percentage. However, it is based on $125,000, which I think is a typo as opposed to 725. But you can see the percentage of each amount that will go to each agency.
Where can I see that at?
It's on, if you click on population chart on your agenda in front of you, it's right next to the ordinance in the blue.
So the way it was 725,000, the 125 to North Caddo area, and how much was going to the sheriff's office?
This just has the population chart on it.
Well, it has the amount.
100,000. 100,000 goes to the sheriff.
So it's 100,000 to the sheriff, 125 to the municipalities of North Caddo, and the remaining amount going to the city of Shreveport. Is that correct?
All city gets a share. I think all city gets a share.
Municipalities. Yeah.
All city gets a share as well.
Right.
Do what now?
It's all done based on population, Commissioner.
I know this chart is attached. That's the one that Commissioner Cox and I had talked about, and it's broken down on the municipalities. I think we have all of them in there in North Caddo.
In Greenwood.
In Greenwood, well, you know, they're the municipalities outside the city of Shreveport. They're going to get 125. But I'm just saying the ordinance doesn't say that, nor does the ordinance specifically say how much is going to the sheriff. I just want to make sure we as a body understand that $125,000 is going to the other municipalities other than Shreveport. 100 is going to the sheriff, and the remaining amount would go to the city.
Okay.
Okay, and it doesn't specifically have to be for cars, because obviously some of these municipalities are getting a small amount.
Right. That's true.
And they're not going to be able to buy a car for $2,000 is what I'm saying. It's for law enforcement purposes, equipment.
Or overtime, maybe.
Okay. What about another question? Are we going to, obviously we'll have to do a cooperative agreement. Are we going to have to come back and approve that? Will that come before us or not?
Commissioner, no, you don't have to. What usually happens is you tell us in whatever you pass, whether it's a resolution to authorize a cooperative endeavor or an ordinance, what specific terms need to be in there, if they're going to be specific terms. It's usually drafted by your legal department. But if you want us to do something specific, like say for instance, Commissioner Johnson had that provision that he wanted in there. Everybody can't have a different provision. I have to be directed by the entire commission. So that would be something you would vote on up front.
Today?
Yes. If you're going to make a motion to add some particular stipulation that and legal is not going to craft the language, then you would need to vote so that we will know we're directed to put these things in here.
All right. I think that's all I have right now. I do know that I just got a handout that shows the complete breakdown. Is this correct, Todd?
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dominic. Commissioner Middleton.
Respectfully, Commissioner Johnson, law enforcement vehicles, marked vehicles, are designed to be uniform across the way. There's still going to be a lot of cars, the older cars, that will not have the Caddo Parish logo. In the event somebody decides they're going to flee from an officer, And then the defense attorney later on could say, well, I didn't know, even though it may just be a little decal like that says Caddo Parish, it could be one said, well, that's the reason I continued to flee, and so the case could get thrown out. I think we need to leave in a uniform and let the departments decide that. Now, to come back to the back to the commission at the completion of their usage, I can understand that, but I think they're going to probably just send them right on over to Lauders and get them bidded out. So anyhow, I'm just going to ask you to maybe not make that motion to have the decals on cars. What if it's an unmarked car, and then it's going to have the Caddo Parish logo on there? So just something else for consideration. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Good point. Vice President Jackson.
Well, I think it may be Epperson that's what I want.
I pass.
Okay, excuse me.
I pass.
All right.
Okay, well, it may be back on me then. Or
No,
Johnson.
it's on me because he talked already.
Yeah, 'cause I want.
I thought you had
He
talked.
spoke too.
Okay, excuse me, Commissioner Johnson.
Okay, so since we're making motions for the cooperative endeavor agreement, I want to make a substitute to, and I understand what Commissioner Middleton is saying, but I want to make the substitute motion to have a logo and basically saying that car donated by Caddo Parish, the logo, on each car that we do, and it's up to the Shreveport. And then if it's an unmarked car, they put our hours on marked cars, and then once the car is retired, I'm just addressing his thing too. I got two pieces.
I didn't understand the last thing you said.
I just got two pieces. You put the logo on, car donated by Caddo Parish, the logo. Second piece is to, once the car is retired, hit the retirement stage, that it's donated back to Caddo Parish.
Second, that's an amendment, not a substitute motion.
That's an amendment to the
Right.
to the original motion.
Amendment. I second.
Since we're doing that as part of the cooperative endeavor agreement.
There's been a motion amendment made by Commissioner Johnson.
The clerk has a question, President Lynn.
Before you vote, can I bring something up, please?
Yes,
For a point
Mr.
of
Hopkins.
information in dealing with vehicles. Whatever department gets these vehicles are going to have to register them and insure them. So they're going to be registered and insured in whatever that place's name is. Then you're going to have to turn around and there's a lot of work in trying to change it to get it back to the commission. So I just want to bring that up because we've dealt with that in years past with the DA's office vehicles. We have to register them in the DA's name because they insure them, we do not. So there's a lot more to that before you start putting that part of your cooperative endeavor.
Well, I mean, we buying the cars.
Right.
Cars are ours. We giving them to the city of Shreveport to utilize. And once they get to the time of retirement, we want the cars back.
And we're looking at our logo to
Paperwork
get
is
it.
simple. I mean, going to the DMV or wherever we got to go, even if somebody has to go to Baton Rouge to get it done, I mean, that's simple. So I don't think that's a major hurdle. I mean, there's some steps to do, true enough, but there's no major hurdle to get that done. And that gives us return back of the money that we spent. It's not going to be to that same amount, but you're going to get something back so we can at least say that these would then, and they might be useful cars after they hit the retirement stage that they have. Don't know. But we have to find out what's the retirement stage for a car. So if it's 15 years or 10 years or 7 years or whatever it is, then at that point in time, these cars come back to the parish. That's what I'm saying. They don't keep them for 20 years and then give them back to us. Whatever their retirement is for the car, then that's when we get them back.
I have a motion made by Commissioner Johnson, a substitute motion or an addition and an amendment, and a second by Commissioner Epperson. Commissioner Epperson, did you want to speak on that?
No, sir.
And I tried to change it on the board and I couldn't a second ago. Okay, we'll keep going down the list. Commissioner Bowman. Starting up.
Call for the question.
Second.
This is for the amendment, right?
Okay. Call for the question.
For the amendment. That's
That's the whole thing.
Question's
Amendment
been called by
Wait,
Commissioner
wait.
Bowman
Point of
and the
clarification.
second
Point of
by
order. Point of
Commissioner
order.
Stormy Gage Watts.
Point of order.
Yes.
I have an amendment. See, this is what I meant to bring up. I think when you.
I don't think there's any speaking allowed because we have
Well,
had.
I got a point of order, though,
Okay,
a point of
go
clarification.
ahead.
And so this is what I was saying when I emailed the attorney a couple of days ago, and you said that you have to make your amendment from the floor, And so if somebody calls for the question prior to me bringing my amendment forward, then I'm not able to bring my amendment forward. I'm supposed to be, under Robert's rules, I'm supposed to be able to bring my amendment forward.
Spoke once. He brought his amendment up.
Spoke once, though.
Yeah, you spoke.
Lyndon brought his up.
That was prior to knowing that.
Attorney Frazier?
It's my understanding that the question has been called on
Right.
the amendment that's
Right.
on the floor.
The amendment,
Correct?
debatable. You can't,
And you can't amend an amendment.
right.
So once you vote on this particular amendment, if it does not carry, then you will go back and make a substitute motion to the
With
main
yours.
motion.
But I can still offer an amendment to the main motion too as well.
Yes.
See, I think some folks are under the impression that we're about to vote on the whole thing here. I want
No,
to be clear on
you
that.
call for the question
On
on the
the
amendment.
amendment.
The
Okay.
amendment is
Right.
what's on the floor.
Right.
Okay, everybody please vote on calling for the question.
SGA. SGA.
That passes. We're voting on the amendment. Next item.
The amendment, his
This is
amendment?
the amendment.
Is Commissioner Johnson's amendment.
Yeah, him.
That passes also.
I was voting
No,
on the
mine
ordinance as amended.
But now I got it.
Now we got the main motion.
Now we have the main motion that we need to vote for. Mr. Hopkins, can you clear the board?
But we still got people in the
No, no,
queue,
no,
so
no,
now
no.
we gotta
You
go
still
back.
wanna talk?
Right.
Well, I asked him to clear
The
it.
amended
so-
motion passed.
Passed.
You don't get to go back until the main motion unless this one doesn't
If we,
pass.
yeah, if we fail, you got to vote on the motion as amended
Lost
now.
your chance. No, we just adopted the amendment. Now we have to go back and adopt it in its totality.
How was it read, Mr. Hopkins?
That was it.
How was it read? Was it the whole thing or was it just the amendment?
It was originally read as a substitute motion to the
It's an amendment.
ordinance 5569. So it's amendment to 5569 is what it was read.
So the amendment has been adopted. Now you have to adopt the entire, because if we move forward, we will have not adopted the entire ordinance. We will have only adopted the amendment to the ordinance.
My understanding is the way that it's happened historically is that we always make the amendments to the ordinance as written. And so my understanding is that it has passed. Now,
Well-
Attorney
Don't-
Frazier,
don't
if you
vote
want to
twice.
explain something different.
No, that's correct. Once you amend it, you don't adopt the amendment, you're making the amendment to the main motion.
Right.
It was an amendment to the main motion, was what was made.
Okay, that's fine. I'm back on the board.
All right.
I like to
We're to the
move.
next item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on
I
the
know how
next
you
item.
feel. It's been done to me so many times. That's how I know I could have done it to you.
Okay, so,
But
they schooled me too many times, trust me.
Mr. Hopkins, if you could read the next item,
well, hang on.
please.
Well, I got one. So,
I think what we're
so you
doing
made
is
the
illegal.
amendment, and we voted on that.
I think what we're
We're not
doing
going
is
to go back and vote
illegal.
on the original?
Operating illegally. No, because your amendment amends the
Included.
main
Motion.
motion.
It includes the main
Now, it was my understanding, point of order, that you called for the question on the amendment, on adopting that motion. Is that, I mean, was that what you all did? That's, so then you voted on the motion
Okay.
as amended.
I think that's not Robert's Rules of Order.
Let's go.
The amendment.
Okay.
I've been doing Robert's rules.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5570, amend the budget investment revenues and expenditures for $475,000 for the sewer project for town of Greenwood.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Epperson. I don't,
No, clear me out of that.
okay. I don't see anybody, excuse me, Commissioner Bowman, would you like to speak on that?
No, sir.
Commissioner Epperson, would you like
No,
to speak on that? Commissioner Middleton?
Mayor, I appreciate you being here today, and David. It's just if we open this up, then it's going to put Oil City, Morningsport, and they may be just as needing of some things too, of their infrastructure. Again, as Mayor, as you and I discussed, you adjust your revenue needs by raising the bills, and I think you've already done that, or you get the millage that you need. And all due respect, sir, I'm going to be voting no on this, and that's the reason, as I explained to you on the phone. And again, we just can't set a precedence here.
Thank you, Commissioner Middleton. Commissioner Dominic?
I agree with with Commissioner Middleton. I said this other day that, you know, for the mayor that love the town of Greenwood and everything they do, but same thing you said. So.
It's a great town.
Thank you, Commissioner Dominic. I see no one else on the board. Excuse me, Commissioner Bowman.
I am going to speak now on it. I just think that this is something that we all agreed upon, even some very people who were elected last year who agreed that this is what we need to do, especially since the town of Greenwood worked so hard to already raise grants and everything else. And they, just like the other 10 municipalities in Caddo Parish, are part of us. And so what affects them indirectly or directly affects us all. And it's just the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's please vote. That passes. Next item, please.
Ordinance number 5571, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus, and authorize parish administrator to sell tax interest.
So moved. Second.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
I did.
Commissioner.
Johnson.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Dominic. You want to speak on that?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Middleton?
No, that's the previous one.
Okay. Commissioner Bowman?
No, sir.
Commissioner Jackson?
I got personal privilege whenever, I want a personal privilege whenever we finish it.
Okay.
What?
I'd go ahead and state it right now. Okay, so all right,
I think
everybody
you got a
please,
motion on
let's
the
please
floor
vote.
right now.
Please vote.
Voting on ordinance 5572?
5571. Adjudicated property.
Yes.
It's like automatic, right?
Yes. 5571.
Excuse me,
Oh, yes.
What we got?
That passes.
Thanks for waiting on me.
Did you want to say something,
Yeah,
Commissioner?
I move that we reconsider, because we're not on the prevailing side.
You can't.
I was on the prevailing side on that one, right?
I don't recall how you voted.
I voted
Commissioner
yes.
Todd or so.
I voted yes.
Oh.
So I move that we reconsider, because I would like to add an amendment to 5569. And I have a motion to reconsider 5569.
I'll second your motion, just for the sake of it.
Point of order here?
Point of order.
Okay. Yes.
Motion to reconsider during the same session by a prevailing side has to be by a 2/3 vote.
Oh, by the commission.
But I can make the motion, though.
Yes, sir. You
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
I'm just
I
saying.
just
has to be
All right,
Oh,
well,
okay.
there is a motion on the floor by Commissioner Jackson. It was seconded by the chair.
And what's the motion?
To reconsider, because I have an amendment that I want to add.
5569.
I have a friendly amendment to reconsider 5569. I have an amendment that I would like to add.
Okay. Please vote.
And this is for the reconsideration.
Why are we reconsidering?
That passed.
That passes. Okay. So you,
All right, so I'd like to amend 5569 that we include in the cooperative endeavor that it be made as a grant. I mean, we would still give the money to them, but they would have to report the information on how they're using the money back to us. That's my motion. To include in the cooperative endeavor.
Just say that.
Well, I tried to, y'all wouldn't let me.
motion's made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Middleton, that would be in the form of a grant so that they would report back how they spent the money. Do you want to speak on that?
I think, we require anybody that we receive, that we give money out to report back how they're using it and what they use it for. And I think, SPD, the Sheriff's Department, all of them have grant departments specifically set up. They would not receive a grant they always receive a JAG grant through the Justice Department. They report back to them.
Right.
If they receive a grant through state police, they always report it back to them. I know SPD, and so I'm not saying that they're going to do anything illegal. I just know they have the capacity to do it, and I think we should be consistent with everybody that we give out. And I thought that was the sentiment of this body 2 weeks ago when we discussed it, that we would make it a grant.
Is that everything? Commissioner Middleton, do you want to speak on your second?
No.
Commissioner Dominic?
Would it be legal to call it a grant? I mean, I don't have a problem in the cooperative endeavor agreement saying that, hey, you know, with our legal language that they provide us with a accounting on what they did and how they spent the money, but
Does grant come out of the economic
would you call it a grant? Would that be the best way to call it? Or
I don't think it really matters what you call it, Commissioner Dominique. I mean, if we want to put those requirements on it, that can be written into the agreement.
So, Commissioner Jackson, you're just requesting that kind of an accounting on how they spent the money and things. I mean, I think that's a great idea because you don't want to give money just to one of those municipalities up north and they go build a playground or something. We need to make sure that they spend it for law enforcement or something like that. So.
Same thing with NGOs.
Same thing I think we do with
Is
CCAA.
that everything, Commissioner Dominic?
That's fine.
Commissioner Chavez?
They're going to do that anyway.
I agree with what Doug's saying as far as the grant. The only caveat on that is when you call it a grant, but then you ask for the money back at the end for the cars, it's kind of leery on that one.
Grants are something you give away.
Yeah.
Loans are what
so
you repay back.
It's hard on that aspect, and plus I don't know if we want a bunch of old busted up cop cars. I think it'd be more beneficial for Caddo Parish just to say, hey, listen, if they sell those cars, just send over a check, because then it's going to be more man hours of our mechanics fixing a bunch of old cars that we really don't want back. So it's.
That part already passed.
I don't know about. So, I mean, it already passed. So that's, I guess can we call it a grant if we're going to ask for the money for the cars back? Legal? Can we call it a grant if we're asking for the property back that we're giving them money to buy?
Basically, what you're going to be doing is entering into a joint services agreement for them to use that money to provide something to your citizens that you cannot provide. That's what it's going to be called.
And we're going to be live with some extra stuff.
And all we asking for is a reporting feature on that. That's it.
Right.
Commissioner Chavez still has the floor.
Will we have to then pay sales tax when we take property back of those vehicles?
We don't pay tax.
Okay, that's good.
We don't pay sales tax.
Okay.
We don't pay sales tax.
All right, that's it. Thanks, President.
Commissioner Atkins is on the board.
Well, I'm just trying to determine where we are with the amended proposal. And it sounds like grant, the word grant is holding some people up or hanging some people up. It sounds like Commissioner Jackson really just wants to make sure that we have a proper reporting and
assessment of the use.
Reporting of use of
Accountability
use of funds.
report, whatever.
So I don't know the process for just maybe replacing grant with some other language to remove that complication from the fact.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want the report.
That's what we want at the end of the day, the report, right?
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins.
Jackson.
Commissioner Jackson.
I call for a question on the amendment.
Thank you.
All right.
The question's been called.
Point of order,
Commissioner Jackson.
On the amendment.
On the amendment. Is there a second? Yes.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dominic. Please vote on calling for the question. That passes. Now we're voting on the amendment.
Oh, yes. Graham with SGA.
Reconsideration is passed. Thank you. Next item, please.
All right, now we move to, I think we were at rescinding the subdivision of Country Haven. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Bowman. I don't see anybody on the board. Please vote.
Pick back up where you're supposed to be. You have another person. Brilliant. Hold on, Greenwood, before you leave.
Don't leave.
We're going to reconsider.
That item passes.
Don't leave.
I thought about that, Doug. You got it.
No, I'm serious.
Brother Cox.
All right.
They easing on down
Okay.
the road, ain't they?
What's next?
Next item.
I was trying to let them get out the door a little bit. Ordinance number
Go outside
5570.
and talk. Well, I do have another person.
Ordinance number 5574, authorizing
Mr.
emergency.
Hopkins, Commissioner Jackson would like another point of
Sorry, y'all.
personal privilege.
I move that we reconsider 5570 to add in the same reporting so we could do the same
be consistent across the board.
Second.
There's motion made by Commissioner Jackson, second by Commissioner Middleton to reconsider, just to add the language on reporting.
I got.
And that has to reconsider has to pass by 2/3.
What are we gonna do, get the
got-
money
I
back
got-
from the board?
No, just report, just the
I
report.
got a question.
Want the pipes back?
I got you.
Hey, President, can you?
Commissioner Johnson, yes.
Attorney Frazier, I mean, when we do these ordinances, don't we require them to give us some type of reporting mechanism? Or I know we just don't issue them a check and say goodbye. Don't they have to give us some type of feedback of what they spent the money on?
Basically, what's required is that they keep the records. I mean, this is not like your normal NGO, where you're going to get a report every 6 months. When you're doing an intergovernmental agreement with another agency, basically they have to keep the records for 3 years so that you can determine if the project has been completed. They do not come back and report to you on a regular basis, like biannually, like an NGO would.
All right, so at any point in time, a commissioner could sit here and say, we request that we want to see what they spent the money on at any point in time in those 3 years, and we really don't have to go through all this.
Right.
Thank you. I just want the public to know that we just don't issue a check and then we just walk away from it, and we got to do this here in order to get some reporting. That's all. Thank you.
And we're not doing this no more.
Commissioner Jackson?
That's the other piece.
I think I may be in the queue for the.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Very quickly, so if we offer this amendment and the persons, and we determined that they didn't use the money in the fashion we wanted them to use the money, then what's the repercussion as such? Does that language need to be
It's going to be in
spelled
a
out
joint
also?
operating
Right.
agreement.
If it's not used in accordance with the agreement, then we have a basis to
Recourse.
request it, to get it back.
Lawyer up.
Right. Yeah. So that would happen even if we don't include this grant proposal, that
Correct.
either way. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Cawthorn. I don't see anybody else on the board. Please vote.
It's on the reconsideration.
It's on the reconsideration.
We know what it is. We can do that.
That passes.
Okay, now that's just to reconsider.
That's just to reconsider.
All right, now let him make his motion.
All right, so I move that we require a accountability report from Greenwood Sewer Project.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, second by Commissioner Dominic to require the report. Everybody, anybody want to, please vote. I don't see anyone on the board. That passes. Next item, sir.
Ordinance number 5572, rescinding subdivision of Country Haven subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Bowman.
Seems like we just did that.
No.
We didn't vote on that, did we, Tom?
We never got
we
to it,
didn't
we
vote
went
on it.
back.
Yeah.
Everybody
we
please
can
vote.
on it.
There was a thank you, Vice President.
Y'all
You're
are
so great.
trying to confuse our commissioners of the day.
I love
They
you.
are really confused.
It's making them want to jump into politics.
I'll never come up with
At its best. Y'all went up here, I wouldn't have got my completion.
That passes. Next item,
Ordinance
please.
number 5574, authorizing emergency aid.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Bowman. Please vote.
Request to speak.
Excuse me, pardon me, Commissioner Middleton.
Are we also going to require these folks to give us some proof of what they're going to have to show us what they spent? We're only going to give them what they actually spent. Is that correct? 'Cause I'm-
Yes, sir.
That's already been
We
made.
developed that system last year.
Right.
For this year.
Okay.
This is just including the flood victims.
You haven't seen the report yet?
Yes.
And we work to the CCA.
Please vote.
Yeah. All of us never get elected.
That passes. Next
Who
item.
voted, was that me? Because I meant to vote yes.
Yeah.
No.
That was me.
It was Mike.
I voted no.
Okay.
All right, next we move to ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5575 of 2016 regards to zoning case P216, amending zoning of property located on the south side of Blanchard Latex Road, approximately 1,320 feet west of White Acres, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from RA to MHS. Next, we move to ordinances for title. Ordinance number 5576, amending the budget investment revenues and expenditures for Economic Development Fund for the year 2016 to provide an appropriation of $25,000 for the Shreveport-Bossier African American Chamber of Commerce. Ordinance number 5577, amending the budget investment revenues and expenditures for the Capital Outlay Fund and Oil and Gas Fund for the year 2016 to provide an appropriation of $500,000 for the construction of the Caddo Common Park. Next, we need to ratify the minutes.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Dominic, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. Please vote.
Lynn, Jackson.
When I was president,
Commissioner Epperson is out of the room.
Mr. Lynn, thank you.
I'm still here. That passes. Next item, please.
Next, we move to resolutions. Resolution number 30, urging members of Northwest Louisiana Legislature delegation and the legislature to support House Bill 1116.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Jackson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bowman. Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, I want to make a substitute motion to adopt the amended version here. Was listening to some of the discussion on Monday and had a chance to talk with some members afterwards. And some folks felt that it appeared like we were taking sides relative to the court case or whatnot. And so I want to remove any sides that was there. I do want to accomplish this objective about wrongful conviction and rightful compensation. And so in the spirit of compromise, I did remove any mention. There's no mention of Mr. Ford anymore, but I do want to I think it's in the best interest of this state and this parish to address wrongful convictions and compensation. And I also want to address, it has not been heard by committee yet. I think a lot of us was getting confused. The Second Circuit Court, if you read the opinion, which is a relatively short opinion, it's just 24 pages, but they recommend that the legislature clarify what the state law is. The other thing that a lot of folks say, well, this isn't within our scope. We do have I want to say $7 million obligation to the district attorney's office. And so the court, we own the courthouse. And so we do have an obligation. We do have some skin and some stake in what's taking place here. And so I'd ask for us to adopt this amended version here.
Point of order, does this need to be read in its entirety into the minutes? No. Okay, thank you.
I put a copy at everybody's desk, the amended version.
Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak on your second?
I just agree since he's made his corrections.
Thank you. Commissioner Atkins?
Well, I appreciate Commissioner Jackson's efforts to compromise. However, I still stand by my position that I've stated previously several times. I just don't think that we should be advising other political bodies on how to vote on issues that are on their agenda. So as a matter of principle, there are several issues on our agenda today that ask other legislative bodies to consider our resolutions, and I'll be voting no on each of those, not so much on fact, but on principle of not imposing our views upon other legislative bodies.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Commissioner Dominic?
Yeah, I would just say the same thing Commissioner Atkins said, which I've said over and over again, that I'll be voting no, not just because I don't think we need to be telling Louisiana legislators what to do, and I'd like for them to, to hear from their people and make their vote of their conscience. For us commissioners, please vote however you want to vote. I'm just simply voting no, and I'm telling you the reason why. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Dominic. Commissioner Bowman?
Yes, sir. And with that being said, I guess the point of clarity or point of information that I would need is if anyone can chime in and answer for me. So when we urge people for, let's say, autism and our Congress people, and it's not there, and we urge them for other things, what's the difference then? Should we not urge people to do those things as well? Just don't urge any members of the bodies who represent us to do anything, because that's the same thing.
Who are you talking to?
Thank you.
Those who
I mean-
voting against, who said that they're not gonna vote for things that's urgent,
We just-
those persons, that's who I'm speaking towards.
If you would, I'll accept that just in addressing to the chair, and I would say that that's probably a philosophical discussion that we can have later with everybody that wants to vote that way. Thank
Over a
you.
beer?
Commissioner Middleton is next on the board.
Call for the question.
Church. I'm sorry for having an opinion and asking questions. Everyone gets mad when I do, but they can say whatever they want to say.
Call for the question by Commissioner Middleton. Who was the second?
Everybody.
I do.
Johnson, Commissioner Johnson.
Cut you off, remember that now.
I know. I'm used to it.
Question's been called. Please vote.
God plus one is the majority.
Questions?
Jefferson?
That passes.
Helps out, okay. Resolution 31, authorizing the parish administrator to execute an intergovernmental agreement with.
Whoa.
Gotta vote on
Just
it.
call for the question. We need to
Adopt
back
the
up.
amended.
We need
Don't
to
worry,
adopt
Todd,
the-
everyone's out of
Keep going,
order.
Todd, keep going.
Tell it, JB.
I'm
I know you're
trying to
get
hurry
us
us
out of
along a
here.
little
Okay.
bit.
This is the amended version.
The amended version.
The full moon.
They have, well, I guess we already voted. I get, everybody's out there kind of looking around, they don't know what we voted on.
Well, it's taken out the Glen Ford.
And that passes.
No,
Next item, please.
Oh, it's a
it fails.
Oh, excuse
No,
me. what?
it fails, it has to have
Resolution
seven.
takes 7
Okay,
votes.
so thank you. That fails, pardon me.
All right, now we move to resolution number 31.
Resolution takes, no, it takes seven.
Simple majority of the body.
She has a simple majority.
A majority of the commission of the body, not,
That's the ordinance.
no, that's ordinance and resolution.
Who looked bylaws?
Only have 11.
And we'll be right back with wellness sports. Stay here.
It's 11 voting, so it's a simple majority.
I think one of us would have to be deceased.
Commission.
Well, ordinance takes 7.
Ordinance takes
Yeah,
7,
A
resolution
resolution
takes
only
majority.
takes just the majority.
Resolution-
A point of order has been called. We're
resolution takes-
waiting on
Resolutions
Attorney
and
Frazier.
ordinance take a majority of the body. Motions, like when you're doing appointments, take a majority of who is voting. But
Oh,
that's
I see.
okay.
Please
Y'all
look
keep
up-
going.
please
I'll
look
pull
at
it,
the
I'll pull it up.
Thank you.
All right, next we move to resolution 31, authorizing the parish administrator to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Port of Caddo, Bossier, City of Shreveport, and Caddo Levy District.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Middleton. Please vote.
I got you. Well, he'll give us a moment. We're over here.
Could you please, what's the issue being
The
voted?
port, the sandbag.
Sandbags.
Sandbag.
Okay, we want sandbags.
Y'all sandbagging over there.
How
Yes,
appropriate.
sir. Sorry, Commissioner Middleton.
That passes.
No more sandbagging.
Resolution number 32, proclaiming April as National Autism Awareness Month.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts. Please vote.
Y'all just left me out. Y'all got him on the zero.
You see it? Didn't you say it?
Mr. Bowman?
Bowman.
Who?
You're
Me?
I'm learning
That
from my new
passes. Next
mentor
item.
over here.
Resolution number
Makes a
34,
lot of sense.
urging the state legislature of Louisiana to fund Act 252.
You skipped 33.
33.
Because it was yours.
Resolution 33, proclaiming April as a county parish government month.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Jackson. Please vote.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Johnson. Hurt you.
That passes. Next item.
Resolution number 34, urging the state legislature of Louisiana to fund Act 252.
So move.
Moved
Second.
by Commissioner Cawthorn, second by Commissioner Jackson. Please vote. That passes.
Next we move to old business, resolution number 21.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Wait.
He's
That's
saying-
another one.
It's-
Wait on
Okay,
the
well then by
I think it
6,
passes.
it's by the same thing, and so we're waiting on Attorney Frazier to give a ruling both on Resolution 21 and
I've given a
on...
ruling, but I'm just looking for the
Uh-oh.
paper, so,
Okay.
you know, pour it in paper, so if y'all
Okay.
can come back to me,
All
I'll
right,
just.
thank
I'll
you.
bring it.
We'll have to come
Hair
back
flip. We'll
to...
move to old
Okay,
business.
earrings off.
Resolution number 21, authorizing the administrator to add a stipulation to the EAP Program Cooperative Endeavor Agreement.
I so moved, Commissioner. I'll second Commissioner Chavez. Are you making a motion?
So
on
move.
We're gonna, is it actually for the new amendment or for the original?
I thought it was.
The original is attached.
Okay.
You would need to make a motion to amend.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion for the new amendment that we have in front of us.
And I'll
All the
second
commissioners.
that one.
Okay.
Motion's made by Commissioner Chavez and seconded by Commissioner Bowman in reference to the amended version
And can I ask,
of Resolution 21. Commissioner
That's the one
Chavez,
we
did you want to
discussed.
speak on that?
Definitely, absolutely. Thank you,
can you
President.
explain it to us? What you-
Oh yeah, what we're doing here is, obviously you guys all know for the EAP, we fund them and they produce entrepreneurs and they build them up in the community, and they've done a lot of great things here locally. The only thing is, we wanted a little more protocol and procedure as far as stipulations on the people that they help in the community or that come to this community, that I don't want to say that they're forced to stay here, but we want a community where entrepreneurs thrive and grow, and we don't want to help fund somebody where they come here, they get some money and some services, and then they take off and they flourish in some other parish or some other county elsewhere in the country. So I think it's very important for us to be prudent with the funds that we hand out in order to make economic development, that we make sure that it happens here in our own backyard and not somewhere else. So I introduced this to make sure that that happens. So I'd appreciate a yes from all you guys to make sure that this happens.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman, did you want to speak on your second?
No, sir. I think he just said enough. If everything he says is what he means, and that's what I support. But as long as we be able to go back and be in charge of saying what it is, if they're not upholding their end of the bargain.
Thank you. Is that everything, Commissioner Bowman?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Commissioner Johnson.
I like the language that the attorney wrote instead of the amended version. It puts more emphasis on what the majority that we want to say. This says 80% of the core instead of majority. Majority is on 51%, so that's a whole lot less. So I just think that what our parish attorney, that's what we pay them to do, is to write these kind of things. So I think that she wrote it in the best interest of the parish and not the compromise that was done with EAP. Thank you. So I would be voting against the amendment and going along with the original.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Dominic.
Okay, the one on the floor is the one that's been handed out that we're looking at. Is that correct, Commissioner Chavez?
Yes, sir.
That's what we're voting on first, correct?
Right.
Is that everything?
That's all I needed to know.
Commissioner Atkins.
Just for the minutes, I wanted to reiterate that I'll be abstaining from this issue because of my involvement with the Angel Fund.
Thank you very much for stating that. It is a requirement that if anybody abstains from a vote, that they do give the reason why they abstain. Thank you, sir. I see no one else on the board. Please vote.
Please vote. Chavez Bowman. Chavez
This is
Bowman.
on the amendment.
This is on the amended issues. Please vote.
Oh, yes. Chavez Bowman wins.
And that passes.
Oh, I didn't know what we were.
Okay.
Are you ready for the ruling on the other?
Yes, Attorney
Okay,
Frazier, if you
according to section 311 of the charter, section D, all all ordinances and resolutions shall be passed by the favorable vote of at least a majority of the entire membership of the commission, except as otherwise provided in this charter. So that is the membership of the entire body. That is a 7 vote, not a 6.
I make a motion to reconsider resolution number 30 and resolution number 30.
Second.
You're going crazy on us stuff.
Second.
What are we those two items?
Second.
What
are we 30 and 34.
What are you going to do?
Reconsider.
To reconsider.
You need to do them separately, sir, so we can vote them separately.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody.
Okay, well, let's start off on, well, first we got to vote to reconsider, but we will vote on them separately.
Now, which ones?
30 and 34.
Wait a minute.
It's already voted.
Attorney Frazier?
Ken can vote.
Question, if you voted and the vote failed, somebody from the failing side has to make the motion to reconsider.
Okay.
So
Failing side.
who voted no that wants to reconsider it?
You gotta have somebody.
Probably not. This is a vendetta against those who beat
The
them the
noes,
first
the
time.
noes prevailed because there weren't enough votes made. The noes prevailed. Somebody from the prevailing side, the noes, has to make the motion.
Okay. I thought he was a no.
Come on, who has a contest?
I'll make a motion to reconsider 34.
Oh, right.
Which one? What was? I went on 30.
Number 30 is one wrong.
Somebody asked, 34. I make a motion to reconsider 34.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Chavez to reconsider 34, and seconded by Commissioner Cawthorn. Please vote.
30. This is on the reconsideration.
This is strictly the reconsideration, and it has to pass by 2/3.
No, not 2/3.
Mr. Middleton?
This
Yeah,
is
stand by a
democracy
second.
at
I'm
its
still trying to
best.
figure out where this train is.
Hey.
Okay, we're on 34. We have discussion 30, then we go to 34, and now, okay. Okay, yeah.
No, he's just voting, there was
Voting
no
to
motion on
reconsider.
30, it's just 34.
Just 34.
Showing the kids to never be involved in government.
It'll be reconsidered.
That's passing.
And kids, we're just showing you the do's and don'ts.
That passes for reconsideration.
Mostly the don'ts.
So, someone needs to make a motion.
I move to adopt 34.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Jackson to adopt 34, and seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Everybody please vote.
I thought we were on 30.
Doesn't need to tell us to eat healthy.
I thought this was
I should
30.
have amended yours to add mine. Don't worry about it. I'll get it next time.
Because we urging it again. Now it looks too
Bowman.
I vote no against it.
Voting 4 against 34.
So we didn't
I
do
thought we
30.
just reconsidered 30.
We did
34.
34.
So why we skip 30 and then do 34?
Because there was no motion to
motion.
reconsider 30. There was
Okay.
no one from the negative side to say 30, so he made a motion to reconsider 34. That was the only one we could reconsider.
Thank you, parliamentarian.
For the kids.
You're welcome.
Do it for the kids.
And the
That passes.
That passes. Have we made your new business?
We gotta do that for confirmation.
Okay.
Next item.
Now we move to new business, confirm reappointment to zoning board of appeals.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Middleton.
Call for the question.
Please vote.
We'll get it next time.
Next time, Tiger.
That passes. Wonderful learning meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.